that's all she wrote on that. I found the bolt. Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. We just put this pipe on and we're gonna see if this saw likes it or not. I'm also gonna be mounting up the chain that I ran on my 620 when I bucked up that large red oak. It's real small teeth, and the reason why I'm going to do this is many people have suggested that if I filed the raker with the progressive gauge, because if you look at these, they're kind of flat on top. If I take these and kind of put an angle on them, I'm going to use the raker gauge, that this chain may cut a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and experiment with that. In just a minute, we'll do the first fire ever. I have never tried to run this saw with the pipe on it, and so I want to do that with you. Should have to tune it a little bit. Also, this saw has been very good, but some of its clone type nature is starting to show up. I'm just a few tanks in on it. We're missing a piece of hardware here. This fastener, it's part of the anti-vibe. It will not tighten up. And I did put Loctite on things. I've gone through and tightened, you know, checked the case, checked fasteners periodically, and after 3 tanks, this I could have easily missed. That one should have certainly had Loctite on it. But anyway, so I'm going to need to find some screws, some fasteners for this saw. Eat your heart out, steel owners. That's just a friendly jest because I like how these types of chain adjusters work in comparison, that's all. This chain is not bad, but I'm going to take a round file to it and do a couple real light swipes because I just want to make sure we're working with the best possible sharpness there. Anytime I've pulled out one of those gimmick type sharpeners that people like to call them, whether it be a rotary tool or a 2-in-1 or something, people always like to say, just hand file, it takes 10 minutes. In this circumstance, yes, it can take 10 minutes because I'm not really filing anything. I'm just putting a light edge back on it. This is going to be the first fire of the piped 372. It's sounding like the 562 close to it. I don't think it's quite as loud, but my eardrums are definitely rattling. I'm going to save the tuning for the wood, and I'm going to put my ear protection on and all that. Definitely going to need it. And I want to show you the profile on this chain before we get started. I've touched up the chain. As you can see, there's not much tooth there. And I've also hit the rakers with the progressive raker gauge, as many people call them, on the video and online. Okay, so this back point really didn't change going down, but instead what happened is we put a slight angle. So we're going to see if this chain wants to cut better now. There's people that agree and disagree with this train of thought. I don't know, and so that's why I wanted to run this chain again. It's kind of a waste of time because I really don't know if I can get much more out of it in terms of sharpening. Kind of a bummer to spend all that time filing for maybe one more instance, but we did it anyway. I briefly started this saw over there just to show you a first start, but now I'm going to start it up, warm it up, and start noodling. I'm going to wear my safety gear because I'm actually doing work. I like to definitely be safe as much as I can, especially while working. If I'm cutting a couple cookies off of holding it with my tractor or with my splitter, I'm not so inclined to just put on all my chaps on for that. But I always recommend that you wear your safety gear. This pipe was provided to the channel by Arkansas Chainsaw. I will tag him in the description. He does sell these on eBay and on Facebook Marketplace locally. I don't know how this pipe's going to react, how the saw is going to react, and so this is going to be the first run. See what my thoughts are. It is quite a bit louder than a stock saw. definitely has more crack to it. This saw's always been kind of slow to come on the throttle, and so I think that the pipe has certainly improved that. I actually did lean it out a little bit, and it's kind of hard because we're not doing standard cross cutting, and I'm not going to have like a comparison per se, but I can tell you that the pipe itself seems to have offered more response or throttle response. Let's get back going. Let me know your guys' thoughts. It don't take long for mold to start growing. Wow, incredible. That's all she wrote on that. Oh, I found the bolt. I'd like to continue the test because I can't, because this right here. Now this was that one that I actually did notice. It wouldn't tighten. And I promise you, I did not over crank on it and strip it. It just was one of those things. I put my 4mm, I think that's 4mm, put my 4mm on it, and it's just like, okay, there's like nothing there, but I was hoping that it would just be fine. But anyway, so I just lost my anti-vibe on the saw. I could totally tell that something was wrong because all of a sudden I felt a whole bunch of vibration. This saw is actually quite smooth normally, and so I was like, that feels weird. Luckily I noticed it right then, was able to look down, find the screw, or the nut. Or no, it's not a nut, it's a screw. Bolt. Yeah, it's a bolt. All right, so what do I have to say about the muffler? I think that the muffler created definitely more crack. I don't know if it created more low end. That's gonna be for more of like a cutting type circumstance. But if you have been looking to play with a pipe, don't have the skills, don't want to spend a fortune on it, I would definitely give that a shot. It sits in there nicely. That was one of my concerns, was how well does it sit, because I didn't want this all prone of the dogs. And this is really nice. This is shooting in a good direction. I wouldn't mind personally if it were cocked just a little bit more down, but certainly that is in the eye of the beholder, right? So I'm looking for a couple fasteners here on this saw. Need this. I actually don't just need the fastener, I need whatever it screws into on the anti-vibe, because this one's no good. In terms of the chain, it actually felt very smooth, but I actually experienced a phenomena that I've never experienced before, and it feels as if I can steer that thing through the wood like more than ever. You can always kind of like, you know, steer a little bit, but I felt like I could write my name in cursive. Honestly, I don't know. It was really weird. I don't know if it's because I've lost so much tooth or what, but regardless, I think the chain cut fairly well. The noodles did, you know, I think there might be something to those rakers being cut. I'm going to hang on to this chain. I'm not going to consider a complete loss. I could probably touch this up lightly, like one more time. Maybe we can get it into some wood to cross cut and see if it does better. Thank you everyone that has commented and suggested things on that chain. And this was a lot of fun. For now, I'm going to just put up the 372 clone, and I have another project I'm gonna work on with the boys. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you comment below, share your thoughts about anything in this video. You have a good one.